Section 3 gives you the tools, the process, the steps, the supporting materials to make sure your Maker Day comes off seamless, and that like a great party, people aren't just left on their own to find their way. There's actually a guided, facilitated, organized process that takes them through every step in taking making into the schools. Without that, just letting people come in, find a kit, find the pantry, do their stuff, you basically would end up with a maker space, which is fine, but it's not what taking making into the schools is all about. You might think, geez, do you really need a whole day to do a Maker Day? And we would argue, yes, you do. If you want educators to come in and fully experience what all the component parts of making, you need to be fast-paced, but you need to honor all the steps in the process. And on page 40, what you'll see is a sample agenda, and of course you can shorten it or lengthen it depending on your own constraints and your ability to do this. And you would never use this sample agenda with kids because you want them taking making into schools to be sustained across a semester or across a year. But what you'll see in the sample agenda is a way of hosting a Maker Day for educators that allows educators to thoughtfully and respectfully move through every step of the process and honor that process, realizing that all the component parts are very iterative. You need to be introduced to the design challenge so you have something to think about in the design thinking activity. You need to do the design thinking activity so you can empathetically figure out what it is you're making as a solution to the design challenge. You need to prototype that so you have something to show in the design charrette, and you need to have the design charrette to get that quality feedback, that critical friend view of how you adapted and how you problem found your solution to the design challenge. And then most importantly, before you just rush home and get on with the rest of your life, you need that little pause for a reflection. And if you can, a little reception at the end where people can debrief, take a breath, and say how the day has changed their practice or how they might take making into the schools in their own settings.